Hello community, I hope you are doing good. In this discussion we will see how to create a Many2one field, and in case you missed previous discussion about how to create a date and time field, please check link is given in the description. And if you want to learn more about Odoo, you can visit the WebLearns channel. Under the home screen you can see Odoo17 Development tutorial, and this is the playlist we are working on. And by the way, this is the main playlist, so all the topics related Odoo17 will cover here, right? So those are the sub playlist with the specific topic wise. And if you want to learn more about different older versions, you can see Odoo development, and this is the main playlist of the older version. And once you click here, you can see different apps of playlist available with the different topic wise with the real test cases. Guys, if you didn't subscribe this channel, please subscribe, it will help me a lot. All right, so let's discuss about the Many2one field. So let's say I'm giving you one example. I'm going to the invoices, right? I'm trying to create a new invoice, but for this invoice, right, I want to also use the different models. Let's say the customer, you can see here, right? And once I click here, you can see list of customers is available here. So this is not the selection field which we discussed last time, but you can see here, once we click here in this customers, you can see the list of customers available here. So this is what we need to use in the invoice level here, right? And once you click here, you can see you can redirect to this model, right? So this is we can use as a Many2one field. But before that, let me show you one diagram how it works in the backend side, I mean in the Postgres side, right? So here you can see how, let me change as a student. So you can see there are two tables is here, school and student. Okay, in a school table we have two fields, I mean the column ID and the name. In the student you can see ID, name and school ID, right? Now here this is the separate table in the Postgres side. Likewise, this is also the separate table, like you can see here, this is the invoice model and you can see this is the customer model, right? Now what we need to do is, like in the student profile, we need to access also the school profile record, right? So how we can do that? So simple, using the foreign key concept, right? We can add here, like let's say the school ID, and the foreign key would be the school table and the specific ID, right? So here in the backend side, when we check the columns, the school ID, what we are storing is the school ID, which is always unique, right? So this unique ID we have to store here in the school underscore ID field, the column. So this ID we are using here in the school ID, that means that key is the foreign key, right, in the sub tables. But let's say the school table, this ID would be always the primary key, and that primary key would be always unique. In case you don't know the concept of the SQL like this, please check the foreign key and the primary key concept. The main difference you will understand easily. The purpose of this diagram is to understand how it is also working in the backend side, right? So I hope you understood this concept, the basic one. Now what I'm trying to do is, you can see here I already created one school profile like this, right? Let me delete this blank one. So you can see here total 5 schools available here. Now what I will do is, like each and every student, so you can see 13 student is here. So each and every students, I want to add here the school that ID that has a selection field, right? This one to this model. So how we can do that? So here Many2one field come to the picture. So for that we can use here, and you, by the way, you can see here this is the model name of this wb.school, right? And right now we have to access this student profile and using a one field for this wb.school. Okay, so here what I'm doing is, let's say school underscore ID, right? Fields Many2one. Now guys, you have to understand these few things. School underscore ID, you can add anything. All right, this is the specific field name. Equal to these fields we have to import from the Odoo. From Odoo, import and fields. Forgot about this API and the model. All right, we need to just focus about the fields. Now, once we import fields, after we can use here any type of add any type of fields which is available in the Odoo, right? You can see here date, time, date, JSON, right? You can see here the Boolean character field, selection field, integer field. So like this way, likewise we can also add here Many2one, and M should be the capital, okay, like this. After that, we have to provide here one thing, which is the model name, which model we have to use. So let's say I copy this model name and simple I will paste here, okay, and this school underscore ID simple I will add here in the student list view. So here I'm also adding another field which is the ID of the student, and here I'm also adding field name equal to ID to verify. And likewise I'm also adding here school underscore ID in the tree view and in the form view. I just added this field. By the way, let's say we added a new field in the Python side, right, and we registered that field in the XML side, so we must need to upgrade the module. So for that I'm using here the PyCharm terminal, the configuration. Okay, in case you don't know how to configure this PyCharm configuration, please check editor level playlist. I already explained how to configure like this. Once the upgrade done, right, once I will refresh the screen, you can see here the school field is available, right? And once I open this form view, you can see here this field is available. Once I click here, you can see Nalanda school, IIT school, IIM school, MIT, Vivekananda school, right? To verify, you can go to here in the school list and you can see here total 5 schools available, right? The same schools also available here, the list. Sorry, let me use this one. So let's say IIT school, right? Or let's say this Vivekananda school. Once I save, right, and once I click to this arrow, so it will redirect me to this school profile here. See, now what happened is this DD1 student is belong to this school. Okay, so this is called as a Many2one field. Let's talk about the database side. Right now you can see this is WB underscore student table, right? Here you can see those are the list of the database. Sorry, the columns available here with the different tabs, right? You can see here. Now, okay, and now you can see here school ID is here, right? This is the field, and which is always integer. Okay, now here you can see the foreign key. So foreign key you can see here the school ID, right? For reference as a WB school, and the colon would be the ID. So this is what I'm talking about in the diagram. So inside we are using this ID of the school right here, which is called as a foreign key. But now let's say if we see here in the school model, this ID would be always the primary key. Let's see. Now you can see this is ID as an integer, right? And by default it's taking the next sequence number, so 1 2 3 4 so on, right? And yes, and this ID it's called as a primary key. right? And you can see here in this table, right, this table, and after this index and the foreign key constraint, you can see referenced by, right? So here it will automatically, you can see also the wp dot underscore student table, right, the school underscore id field, and this id field it's using, you can also see from this table, right? And here it's also mentioned in the foreign key about this field. Now I hope you understood about the database and the Python side, how you can add the Many2one field, right? Now this is the simple selection field you can see here, but this selection field is more advanced compared to the selection field. Okay, so here you can add dynamic data, right? Let's say if I will add here, let's say ABC school, right? Save. So you can see here ABC school is here, and once I click here, you can see total 6 records is available. You can treat as a record, okay? But here you can see here the selection field, right? It's always static. Static means you cannot add more options here dynamically until unless you have to go to here in the specific model, and you have to just find out that specific selection field, right? And you have to add here, or let's say you have to inherit this field. So here this Many2one field is more advanced compared to the selection field. Okay, so I hope you understood about the basic concept of the Many2one field, which is the relational field. There are two more fields also available, one-to-many and many-to-many. How it is work, we will see in our upcoming session. Now let's talk about the different supported attributes available in the Python side and the XML side, right? So here you can see which we mentioned the model name, right? You can also add co-model underscore name. Okay, so let's say you want to add something like this using the attribute, so you can use co-model underscore name. If you don't want to use, you can just use like this. Okay, after that you can see here the school is available like this, the field, the label name, right, for this field. So how it's automatically update, because due to this field name, the school underscore id. Now what happen is, Odoo automatically treat underscore as a space, and in case having this id, right, so automatically Odoo remove this characters, and it will use this school as a capital here. The first character would be the capital. Okay, and let's say you want to change the school, right? You can add here in the double quote like this, let's say in a string equal to, and after that you can add here, let's say select school. So here I will try to restart the service and refresh the screen. Now you can see here after the refresh, you can see the label also change, right? Another thing is, let's say if you didn't mention here this field name, this attribute, right, co-model name, and here you are also not using the string, so here what happened, it will treat accordingly. So the first parameter would be always the model name, after that this one is the label name. You can add like this without the attribute. Now you can see here, once I will refresh the screen, you can see here it will change the label name also. Okay, so let me restore the previous attributes. So co-model name, string, and here I'm using read only. So what is the purpose of the read only is, let's say I will refresh the screen, so here I don't want to modify by the user, so in this case I'm trying to use here read only. And right now you can see I can change anything, right, in a hover, but once I hover here, so it's completely a read only. So this is the main purpose here, and another is the required. Once I will refresh the screen, And what happened is, let's say I'm going to the different user, right? And I will change, let's say, the fees, something like this, right? The 4. And now I'm trying to save. User must need to select any of the school name. So in this case, we can use the required field, right? And let's say once we click select the Nalanda school and once save, you can see right now it's saved this record. So this is the purpose of the required. Okay. Another is the help. So it's some kind of in a HTML we can call as a tooltip. Okay, so once you hover the specific field, right, and it will give you the purpose of this field. So once you see, you can see here, right, before the refresh the screen you cannot see this question mark, but after the refresh you can see this question mark, and once you hover you can see the purpose of this field. Please select the school profile. So what happened is, let's say there are a lot of fields available here and user might be don't know like what is the purpose of this field. So as a developer you can add here a one tooltip using the help command attribute like this. Okay, let me delete this attribute. And another one is the let's say default. So guys, in a default, I will show you here at the moment static, but in our upcoming session, I will provide you how you can also provide the dynamic values. So you can see here the school underscore ID, right? Which is always the integer value we have to support. So which kind of integer value we have to support here, right? So basically, if you go to here in the school list, so this ID we have to use as a static. So let's say if I will add here the 7, right? So I will pass here 7. So what happened default attribute is while you create a new record in the student profile here, okay? Once you click new, you can see by default it's pre-fill ABC school. So this is the main purpose of the default attribute here. Okay, here this static value I'm not recommended. Okay, we have to always use here the dynamic data existing database ID. So in our upcoming session I will show you how you can also use default, right, using the field level or using the lambda function, so anonym function. Okay, so this is the basic one. After that you can also use the index equal to true. So this index, it won't be effect in the front end side, I mean in the Odoo side here. It's not doing any fancy things here, but actually it will try to generate a one B-tree index in the database side. So let me go to the terminal again, and you can see this index is right. So similar index also create for the school underscore ID in case I will provide here the true. So let me go to stop the service and upgrade the module. Okay, and here let me do one more time, and now you can see sorry, student. So here in the indexes, right, you can see here it will automatically add the index as a B tree. Well, you can also add more indexes here, but right now I'm not cover all the topics in a one single session. Okay, to just understand how the Many2one work and the default attributes is working. There are so many attributes also available here, the groups and many things, but in the security level I will explain how to use that groups attribute. Now let's talk about the XML side. So let's say you want to override your existing label name, this one, in the XML side. That is also possible. So let's say school, and once I will upgrade the module and refresh the screen, you can see it will change, right? Now no label 1. So let's say you want to hide this label name, right, not the field name, then you can use no label equal to 1, and now you can see the label name is also gone, but that field is available here, you can see. After that, let's say read only 1, you can also add here. Once refresh the screen, and now you can see the label is also back, and you cannot also edit this school name anymore because this is the read only completely. After that, required, right, and once I will upgrade the module and refresh the screen, now let's say once I will save this record, and in case the school is blank, right, so Odoo automatically throw the, let's say, error. So once I save, you can see, so select school, right, now it's trying to save this student profile. So this is the purpose of this required. Here let's say placeholder, please select school. So this is useful when this field is blank, right, automatically you can see here it's predefined the purpose of this field, please select school, right. Once you select, that message disappear automatically, but let's say once this field is blank, right, after you can see like this, please select school, and here you can see this is the main difference between this tooltip and the placeholder. Okay, so yeah, that's it guys. I hope you understood about the basic Many2one field, how you can add in the Odoo side. It is a lot more things also available you can also do with the Many2one, but I will not cover in this one single session. All right, in our upcoming session I'm going to show you one-to-many field, how you can add. If you have any doubt related to this topic, please comment below, and see you in our next session.